transferring large file off of MS-DOS 5.0 machine without removing HDD. As part of some sort of legal record-keeping thing, my father's business lawyers has requested a copy of the database of customers from a work computer. The core issue is that this work computer is a circa 1988 A-open thing, running what looks to be a modified version of DOS 5.0. I'm very weak with actual MS-DOS and older hardware in general, but after some fuddling around I finally found the file that the lawyer needed. The issue comes that the customer database, read, space delimited text file, is 3 MB big. This is too big for one floppy, and the data is in one single file, which, to my very limited knowledge of actual DOS, would preclude me splitting it with the built-in programs on the computer. Checking the back of the computer, I noted one built-in serial port, a parallel port in an expansion slot, and somewhat inexplicably, a NIC with a jack in it too big to be RJ11. I didn't test if it was actually a RJ45 as I didn't have an Ethernet cable handy at the time. However, the two program files that I would have used, according to my research, to use the serial are nowhere to be found on the computer. Furthermore, I haven't the slightest idea what I would do to leverage the NIC. Furthermore, complicating issues, just pulling the HDD has to be relegated to a last resort, as the computer, which is older than I am, is used for daily business operations and would have to be taken offline for around 1 day due to the distance between the computer and me, which the client does not particularly want. So the crux of my question is, with my almost non-existent skill in DOS, I accidentally corrupted one of the databases, and would have been in bad shape if I didn't make a backup beforehand. Is there a simple way I can leverage the above-mentioned assets, or something else I don't know about DOS, to get this 3 meg file off of the computer without pulling the HDD?
Try using zip. It's an old DOS utility that provided some of the earliest zip file capability. You should be able to download it at this URL. If the database is a text file, then zip should let you compress enough to get onto a floppy disk, or if not, then it should allow spanning of multiple disks. At that point, your main issue is getting from the floppy onto a more modern computer. I don't remember the syntax for zip, but I do remember that it does have very good help built in to show you exactly how to zip up and unzip files. I recommend version 2.04 grams from the downloads, as that was universally regarded as the best version for many years.
Does the computer have BASIC installed? If so, you might be able to write a simple file splitter in it, something like this. This will split your database into chunks of 1.3 MB, which should fit comfortably on a 1.44 MB floppy even after accounting for fat overhead. Edit: here's an updated version using binary I/O, which runs a lot faster, doesn't have issues with Ctrl-Z characters and correctly handles input files whose size is not a multiple of the buffer size. I've tested it under DOSBox, and it correctly split a 3 MB file of random bytes into chunks.
It's only 3 megs, so using a zip with spanning would be the easiest solution, as others have said. However, if you had such a problem and the floppy drive did not work, using the serial port would be pretty easy. To use a serial port,
You need a DOS terminal program, and you would run it then use a protocol like xmodem, to transfer the file at 115 kilobits per second, which should take you less than 5 minutes at 115,200 kilobits per second. On your laptop, or any other modern PC, you would need a USB to serial adapter, and a null modem cable, and a terminal program that supports the same file transfer protocol. These cables should set you back about $5 each at most decent computer stores. The best MS-DOS terminal program I ever used was called Telix version 3.12.
Zip does support spanning multiple floppies, and Lenovo has a DOS-compatible app called Chopper that will also accomplish this. This URL. The zip switch for disk spanning, from docks. And AMP, F vertical bar L vertical bar U span disks, format vertical bar format low density vertical bar unconditional format vertical bar all vertical bar W vertical bar V, unconditional low density vertical bar wipe disk vertical bar enable DOS verify vertical bar, S drive, backup entire disk with subdrs, RP, drive to backup.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.